Okay guys, welcome back to part 4 of our build. What we've done, I've already went ahead and did part 4 of the build. We went ahead and put dualies onto it. And we did it the correct way by cutting down the axle. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to break it apart and I'm going to show you how I did it. So we got it tore apart. This side over here is already the one that I've changed, and I've also changed this side, but I wanted to show you I actually had to cut that much out of there because this is the way the bearing used to sit, and it has this little collar on the end. It has that little collar there, and that's what held the bearing on the end. Now all I did was cut off the end of the shaft, and then I re-dremeled it so that it'll fit down in there. So now, sorry I had to use 2 hands, but I slid it back in there. Now it sits down in there, and then what I did is I took one of these nylon spacers, and it sits on this side, and then you still take your bearing because it's still got that little collar room in there. And there it is. Now we'll go ahead and put the case back on it, and I'll show you how I had to cut the hubs. I didn't want to mention the reason why I got these little nylon spacers in here is so that it can't come back out. What that little collar there used to keep it on this end from sliding out this way. So now I've put that spacer in there, and it acts as the same way. It won't let it slide. Okay, we got the axle back together. The next thing you had to do, you can also see now, right there is where our pin is going to go, is at the very end of the axle. Is we had to take this collar, and the collar is usually long for the rest of the axle, and we just cut it to match the end here. Your bearing's still there. So now it's just a shorted axle. Okay, so the next step is the shocks just barely rub, and I could probably get away with it by ordering a different spring, smaller spring, because like I said, it just barely touches. But I'm going to go ahead and inboard these. So all we're doing is unscrewing it from this side and screwing it to the inside. Now I want to keep the same ride height and everything, so this bar that goes across is actually down one, so I'm going to have to move it up because I can't put it on the top one where it was because it's hitting this little round post here. So we can actually get it back in the same hole. We'll just have to raise the little cross member. We got them inboarded, so now we're going to start putting the axle back in. Okay, next part is we're going to need these number 4, 40 by 1.5, and then also got number 4 nuts to go on there. Okay, we got it in there. All I did was I put that screw all the way through, and I used a spacer first, then the bar. The spacer is exactly where the shock used to be, and now the shock is on the outside of it. I could have used a shorter screw. I'm going to have to go back to the hardware store. The little spacer I used, I just took it out of the links. I have several of these links around for different things that I've used. So I just took it out. It fits in there perfect. The shocks do go to the outside a little bit, which is going to be fine for articulation. And next, put it back in the little pins, and we're going to put the hex on the end. You can see it's right there on the end. Okay, got the first wheel on, and then I've got these spacers that I bought from eBay. I'm going to go ahead and I'll show a picture of these. But after looking at these, all you got to do is go to the hardware store, and I've seen these. I don't know the exact size, But I'm sure you could take a rim in there and get that in the hardware store. That's just going to screw on to the end here. See if I can do this one-handed. I have to tighten it real quick. And then you just press it down on there and use the original lug nut. And I got duals there. Alright, we got the duals on. We got no clearance issues. Still got plenty of articulation on them. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up part 4 of this build. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.